Shri Gurubhyo Namah Hari Om. Om Sahanavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryaṃ Karavāvahai Tejasvinavdhītamastu mā vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So yesterday we saw a very beautiful Dhāraṇā. Today another Dhāraṇā. ādhāreṣvathavā'śaktyā'jñānāccittalayena jātaśaktisamīveśakṣobhānte bhairavaṃ vapuḥ. ādhāreṣu athava shaktya ajñānāccittalayena jātaśaktisamīveśakṣobhānte bhairavaṃ vapuḥ. So this Dhāraṇā, what does it say? In the ādhāra means in the objects, with the sense objects, sensorial objects, whatever the object may be, with reference to those objects, when you are not able to gain the knowledge of those objects, either due to the incapacity of the sense organ or the incapacity of your intellect, whatever it may be. So, when you are not able to gain the knowledge because of these incapacities, then you are worried. When that worry, when that disturbance comes to an end, then at that point of time, this bhairavaṃ, this embodiment of bhairava, the energy of bhairava, the nature of bhairava manifests. Okay. Now, ādhāreṣu. Ādhāreṣu. Ādhāra means the substratum. Substratum for what? The substratum for the objects. What are they? For the sense object, the sense organs are the ādhāra. Not the sense objects itself. For the vishaya, ādhāra, for the objects, the sense organs are the ādhāra. Because without the sense organs, you will not, even though the sense objects may exist, you will not be able to see it. So, ādhāreṣu ashaktya. Because of the incapacity, the sense organ, the eyes are, the power of the eyes are gone, or there is some hurt or something, you are hurt or something in your eyes. So, for some reason, you are not able to see things clearly, for some reason. Now, during because of that, or ajñānāt. This word ajñānāt, I think the Bhattānanda has used Control H to change all wherever you see jnana. Even though this is ajñāna, it is not jnana. He has decided wherever you see jnana, change it to dhyāna. Okay? So probably that is not true. Because dhyāna is not the proper word here. Because in his commentary, Bhattānanda very clearly says, jñānādehe abhāvatah. The knowledge, when the knowledge is absent, when there is absence of knowledge, that means the incapacity of the intellect. Though your eyes see, your intellect is not capable to comprehend it, understand it. Okay, so that is how it should be interpreted. Ajñānāt, not as dhyanāt. But chittalayena va, if you use va also as an or, saying or because of the chittalaya, when the mind is settled, when the mind is inactive. Chittalaya means inactive mind. Or if you accept that chittalaya as the result of the previous two, then okay, the sense organs are not working, the mind is not working, therefore you are troubled and the mind comes to a rest at one point of time. So, chittalaya. Or, dhyāna chittalayena. If you have to use dhyāna chittalayena, how does this happen? When you meditate, sometimes when you do japa or meditate, sometimes you are completely absent. Yes, I've experienced that. Yeah, everyone has experienced this state. It's not a very big deal. That is not what you are doing japa for. So, this dhyāna chittalayena, if you want to interpret like that, then there will be too much of confusion. We are not talking about that, because chittalaya means when the mind is completely absent, when the mind stops its functioning, then there is no disturbance. Therefore, kṣobhānte, the word kṣobhānte will not work here. So, dhyana, the word is a inappropriate word there. It should be ajñānāt. And the result is cittalayena. Cittalayena means when the mind comes to rest. Rest of what? Rest because of what? Because of the trouble you have experienced. Trouble? How trouble? Because the disturbance. Oh, why is my eyes are not able to see like it used to? Or why is my intellect not working as it is used to? Right? So not for everyone. For some people whose eyesight are poor always, or it is impaired, or for people who have never used their brains, that is not a problem. But we are talking about a person who is able to use this, and at one point of time who is not able to use it. So when the worry is there, when there is a worry of not being able to grasp using your sense organ or your intellect, then there is a disturbance in the mind. That śṛṇu, when that comes to an end, that at that point, jātaśaktisamīveśakṣobhānte means there is a overpowering. Samavesha, the word means overpowering. Overpowering of what? Like samavesha, avesha, we call it bhūtavesha, meaning the ghost has overpowered him. He loses himself, the ghost has taken his embodiment. That is the idea. Now here, this jātaśakti, this power has overpowered. Power has taken over him. Which power are you talking about? Jātaśakti. Jātaśakti means that born, that Shakti which is born. We are not talking about jātaśakti as Shakti which is born. Jātaśakti means anāśrita Shakti. This is a beautiful word. Anāśrita Shakti. Just jātaśakti, anāśrita Shakti. What is anāśrita Shakti? Ashrita Shakti means a Shakti which is dependent. Anāśrita Shakti means a Shakti which is independent, which is not dependent on anything. I don't understand still. Simple. Okay. Yesterday we saw Ravi, Prabha. Ravi means sun, Prabha means the rays or the light. Okay, so Ravi and sun cannot be separated. They are one. We saw that, right? Similarly, now any power has the owner or the wielder of power. There is an identity between the power and the wielder of power or the owner of power. Now here, jātaśakti, this power which is taking place, the mind, the disturbance of mind is completely gone. There is no thought function. At this point, the power which arises, which is a bhairavaṃ, vapuḥ, the body of Bhairava, this is not dependent on Bhairava's nature, is not dependent on anything. Though we say swachha, swatantriya, etc., the inherent nature of Bhairava, they are not powers of Bhairava or limbs of Bhairava. Okay, so this Shakti, this power of Bhairava is not dependent upon anything, even Bhairava. It is not an extension of Bhairava. It is Bhairava. Okay, so that when that overpowers, when that anāśrita Shakti, when that independent power, when it takes over him, then he gains identity with the Bhairava state. Okay, that is what this is. So you have to understand there is no effort here of gross or subtle. Therefore, there is effort not of gross or subtle. Therefore, this is a shambhovapaya. Okay. Now, the next Dhāraṇā, Bhattānanda as usual takes only one shloka. He makes this mistake. I don't know how Bhattānanda's commentary has gained so much of traction. It should not have. Even Śṛṇu, though interprets it in some places, I don't understand. The name Śṛṇu rang a bell probably. That is why this is also accepted. Because the Śṛṇu in other places is a master class. Here he is not using anything that is esoteric or secret. So, but still we are left with only these two commentaries. So we have to use this. The thing is, this Dhāraṇā in Śṛṇu, he accepts two shlokas. Okay, in Śṛṇu's text, they accept two shlokas. Whereas Bhattānanda's text, he accepts only one shloka. And in the footnote, in the Tippani, they have added the second shloka. Though we may try to understand it using one shloka, but that is off the track with respect to the second shloka. We'll understand this. Saṃpradāyamimaṃ devi. Therefore, I accept both the shlokas as for this Dhāraṇā. saṃpradāyamimaṃ devi śṛṇu samyagvadāmyaham kaivalyaṃ jāyate sadyo netrayoḥ stabdhamātrayoḥ saṃkocaṃ karṇayoḥ kṛtvā hyadhodvāre tathaiva anackamahalaṃ dhyāyanviśed brahma sanātanam. saṃpradāyamimam devi śṛṇu samyagvadāmyaham vadami aham kaivalyaṃ jāyate sadyah netrayoḥ stabdhamātrayoḥ saṃkocaṃ karṇayoḥ kṛtvā hyadhodvāre tathaiva anackamahalaṃ dhyāyanviśed brahma sanātanam. So what does he say? O Devi, in the place of Devi there is another reading in Shivopadhyaya, Bhadre, O beautiful. Devi, O goddess, both are said. Okay. So, O goddess, I am going to explain the tradition. We'll understand this later. I am going to explain the tradition. Therefore, in detail, very nicely. Therefore, listen to me carefully. Because of which, if you listen to it properly, you will gain that eternal Brahman immediately and get liberated. Okay. So, how do you do this? Netrayoḥ stabdhamātrayoḥ, by covering the eyes. By covering the eyes and turning your vision inwards. If you take only one shloka, this is the meaning. If you take both shloka, then by covering your eyes, both the eyes, and similarly by closing your ears, and by closing the holes beneath. Okay, hole or holes beneath. There is a choice there. There is a different understanding there. We'll understand that also. So the holes beneath. Then you have to meditate on the sound which is neither a vowel or a consonant. Okay. So neither a vowel nor a consonant. When you meditate on that, you gain that liberation. That is what this shloka says. Now, these two shlokas say. Now, saṃpradāyamimaṃ. Hey Devi, saṃpradāyamimaṃ. This is a tradition. Sampradayam is directly translated as tradition. But if you say this is the tradition means, oh, my guru, my grand guru, my grand guru, that is not what we are talking about. That is what tradition is. But here, when he says sampradaya rahasyam imam śṛṇu, listen to the secret of the tradition. This Shaiva tradition by the Shiva yogis. What is that? Śṛṇu, listen to me. And careful, why I'm taking both these shlokas, because Bhairava says, samyagvadāmyaham, I am going to say you nicely, clearly. Kaivalyaṃ jāyate sadya. Sadya, immediately kaivalyaṃ jāyate, liberation. Kaivalya means kevalasya bhavaha, liberation. Jāyate, it takes place immediately. He said, I'm going to explain clearly, and then if you take the next line that the shloka is over, there is no clarity here. Netrayoḥ stabdhamātrayoḥ, by closing your eyes. Just by closing your eyes means, stabdha means to obstruct. When you obstruct the vision, means whether you keep your eyes open or closed does not really matter. With your eyes open, that is what it is. Okay, when you keep your eyes open, if you take only one shloka, when you keep your eyes open, you have to block the vision and turn the vision inwards. That is how you interpret it. But stabdhamātrayoḥ netrayoḥ, with the second shloka, you close your eyelids, the eyes. Okay, similarly, karṇayoḥ saṃkocaṃ kṛtvā, by closing your ears. Okay, by closing your ears. Third is you can close your nostrils also. Definitely the nostrils also. So you have to close your eyes, your ears, and the nostrils. See, earlier we did Shanmukhi mudra. You can use that Shanmukhi mudra here. by closing your eyes, etc. With 2 fingers, you close your lips. Then with your thumb, you close your nostrils. Then with your eye, you close your, with the pointing finger, close your eyes, and the thumb, the ears. This is a mudra, but you don't have to complicate it. When you show the thumb and the pinky with the 3 fingers closed, you mean, okay, call me. Okay, that is a signal, right? Use the same signal here. Close your ears with your thumbs. Okay, then the nostrils with your pinky, the small finger, and the rest 3 fingers, with that you close your eyes. Okay, this is the mudra. This is called as bhairava mudra. This is the mudra we are practicing here. Okay, now the ādhāreṣvathavā'śaktyā'jñānāccittalayena tathaiva cha. Similarly, ādhāreṣvathavā'śaktyā'jñānāccittalayena. If you take it as singular, then the hole beneath. The hole beneath means adha means below. Hole below means when you sit, what is the hole below? The only hole below is your anus. Okay, so you close that. So ādhāreṣvathavā'śaktyā'jñānāccittalayena, if you take it as dual case, then you have to close both the holes. The hole of excretion, and the hole of urination, both. Okay, so when you close that, how do you do that? There are different ways to perform this. One, the first simplest method is sit cross-legged with the leg below the back portion, the Achilles portion of the leg. You press that onto your anus. With the second portion, you close your with the first Achilles heels, the lower Achilles heels, you close your anus. With the upper Achilles heels, you close your mutradwara, the urinating hole. Okay, second hole. Now, this is the first way of interpreting. This is the physical obstruction. Okay. The second is by taking the breath suddenly. When you just inhale suddenly, your sense organs are blocked on the upper body. Similarly, when you pull from the below, when you pull it from the below, both the holes are blocked. This is a practice called Mula Bandha in yoga. Do Mula Bandha by pulling the anus hole and the urination hole. Okay, you pull it, they are closed. They are closed. This is the second way. The third way is this is a very interesting thing. There is a temple called Thiruvarur. Okay, there is a tank which is huge tank, water tank for the temple, just huge tank outside the temple. But anyway, that's not. The temple is a half-facade complex. You don't know where you went and where you didn't. That is a complicated thing. Anyway, we are not involved with the main deity itself. We are going to the goddess. It is so complicated. Always there is this Ambika, that Ambika. We forget the name, but this Ambika you will not forget. Her name is Kamala Ambika. Kamala is a common name. Kamala Ambika. What is the greatness in it? Okay. There is this Lakshmi called Gaja Lakshmi. Gaja means elephant. Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. Okay. When you say Gaja Lakshmi, elephant Lakshmi, the Lakshmi is not in the form of elephant. The Lakshmi is seated on the elephant. Nowadays they put 2 elephants on the sides and they call Gaja Lakshmi. That is not true. She is seated on the elephant. That is the Gaja Lakshmi. Similarly, Kamala means lotus. Kamala Ambika means Ambika, a mother, Ambika, mother, who is seated on the Kamala. Simple. That is the simple logic. But here she is not seated on Kamala. She has Kamalambika name, but she is not, this mother goddess is not seated on Kamala. She is seated on a platform. Okay. This, why am I explaining so deep? Because there is a secret here. And she is seated with one leg on top of the other. This is not like Dakshinamurti. Dakshinamurti puts his the foot on the tip of, on the thigh somewhere. Okay. So now Kamalambika is not doing that. Then how so? Like when the ladies sit cross-legged, they put one leg on the other where the thighs are closed. The foot is not pressed on the thigh, but the thighs are closed. They are pressing each other. With this, they close their genitals. So this is one more way of practicing the closing the ādhāreṣvathavā'śaktyā'jñānāccittalayena. Okay. Now you have to close your ears. You have to close your eyes and no nostrils. Tathaiva, etc. We can take the nostrils also. You don't need also. Okay. You just close the eyes under the ears. Ears you have to close. Definitely. There's no doubt because it's specifically said. When you close that, remember, I'm explaining all this. This is not an anavupaya. Don't be very happy. Oh, okay, I can sit like this. I can close this. No, this is not an anavupaya. This is a shaktaupaya. Why? We'll come to that. Okay, when you do this, then anackamahalaṃ dhyayan, we have to meditate on this sound, which is neither a vowel nor a consonant. Ach, it is not an ach. Ach means vowel. Okay. And hal means consonant. It is neither a ach or hal. It is neither a vowel nor a consonant. What is it? It is a sound which is in the madhyama state, which is going inside. Vaikari is the word which is pronounced. This is not a pronounced word. This is a sound which is running inside. You meditate on that. Okay, when you meditate on that, then sanātanam brahma vishayate. Vishayate means to fall into. We will not fall into. We will enter. We will gain identity with the eternal Brahman. The sanātana means old eternal Brahman. Okay, so that is what this teaching says. Now ādhāreṣvathavā'śaktyā'jñānāccittalayena tathaiva. We have already said how to close the neither holes. But in Śṛṇu, he says by pīdanam, by beating it or by obstructing it with hand. Panina, so panina with your hand, etc. That is not how it is to be done. Okay, either mula bandha or through the by pressing the Achilles heels, or the third one is a simple by closing the thighs. Okay, so this is how you have to do. This is Shaktopaya, I told you, because it is not dealing with anything gross. It is not something beyond it. It is something meditating on something which is possible by the sadhaka. So this is Shaktopaya. Now, next one. kūpādike mahārgate sthitvopari nirīkṣaṇāt avikalpamateḥ samyak sadyaścittalayaḥ sphuṭam. kūpādike mahārgate sthitvopari nirīkṣaṇāt avikalpamateḥ samyak sadyaścittalayaḥ sphuṭam. kūpādike mahārgate. In what does this Dhāraṇā say? Sitting on the edge of a big hole, like a well or anything, and focusing on the space inside, which is gradually associating itself with outside, the eternal space. By focusing on that, when the thoughts are subdued, then nicely, clearly, immediately the mind gains nirvikalpa, thoughtless state. The nirvikalpa samadhi is nicely attained. Okay. kūpādike, mahārgate. Kūpādike means in a well, etc. Kūpa, well, in front of a well, etc., which is very deep. It can also mean ādike means it can also be in any hole, anything which is deep, or you can meditate on the mountain or peak of the mountain or the ocean, the tip of the ocean, anything. But wherever this meditation, it is possible. But we are not talking about the meditation on the ocean like we said here, or the meditation on the mountain which we said here. No. This is a different kind of meditation. What we do here is we are seeing when I said yesterday, where is the sun? Wherever you see the light, that is sun. The rays is sun. Sun and rays are not different. We saw this. Similarly, the space inside the pot and outside, where is the space? Where does the space start? It doesn't start up there. It starts from a crack in the earth. Right? So, wherever it starts, the spaces, that is that in a pot. Let us put a pot in front of it. You're looking into the pot. Deep pot. Now, that the space inside the pot is merging with the space external. There is no clear demarcation. When a river enters the ocean, there is a clear demarcation. You can say, okay, this is the place where it meets. There is no clear demarcation like that with this space. When you meditate on that, what happens when you on a mountain tip or on the ocean tip, where it meets it, this ocean meets the other ocean, there is no clear demarcation. Therefore, what happens is your mind, you are not seeing the space actually, as said in the earlier sadhanas, dark space or the space. No, you are not meditating on that. You are meditating, not physically seeing it. Space cannot be seen, but we are not using your eyesight. We are turning the vision inside. By looking at it without blinking, when you look at it, you are turning the eyesight inside. When that takes place, then avikalpamateḥ, the buddhi gains the avikalpa, nirvikalpa. Okay? How does the buddhi gain the nirvikalpa? How do you get the nirvikalpa samadhi? Mati samadhi. So how do you get the nirvikalpa samadhi? Cittalayaḥ, when the mind rests. How does it rest? Samyak, nicely, sphuṭam, clearly, sadya, immediately. 3 words. That is why I said fu in the beginning, at the beginning. Okay? Sadya, immediately, samyak, nicely, sphuṭam, clearly. So, the mind immediately rests. When the mind rests without any thoughts, at that very point, avikalpamateḥ, you gain the nirvikalpa samadhi. This is a shambha upaya. This is not a shakta upaya, because though there is a meditation, this is not meditating on anything subtle. It is not ana upaya because it is not meditating on anything gross. Space is not gross or subtle. This is more than subtle. And we are not looking at the space also to call it shakta upaya. We are looking, turning inwards your vision. You are, without blinking, when you are looking, you are turning the vision inwards. Therefore, this is a shambha upaya. Okay? We will see this. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.